sensory and kitchen activity for us to do. So I really enjoy making Christmas ornaments for all my friends and family, and I have loads of homemade Christmas ornaments on my tree. But my favorite is one that I made when I was a kid, and it is a cinnamon scented Christmas ornament. Now, mine doesn't smell anymore, but I'm going to show you how to make some cinnamon scented Christmas ornaments so you get the sensory experience as well as the art experience of creating something fun and beautiful to decorate your home. Now, if you don't have a Christmas tree, that's a-okay. You can use different different cookie cutters to cut out different shapes and make different designs, and you can still use them. You can also put some clear coat on them and then decorate a tree outside as well. So let me show you the directions for how to make cinnamon scented ornaments. So you want to gather a bowl to mix everything in, some spoons to help you mix, a rolling pin, or you can use your fingers to flatten everything out, and then the most important ingredients: applesauce, cinnamon, and Elmer's glue, or some other sort of white glue that's going to help keep it all together. I also use, I'm going to use some nutmeg when I roll it all out instead of like flour. And then of course some cutters to cut everything with. So once you've gathered all of your materials, then you're basically going to mix everything together. It's going to get messy. You're going to use the spoons if you're not a big fan of getting messy, but then you can also use your hands if you like things like Play-Doh. So you're going to take your cinnamon, your applesauce, and then your glue. Ooh. My glue got a little wild there. And you're going to stir it all together. It might get a little bit clumpy, but that's okay. If it's too clumpy and a little too dry, you can always add a little bit more applesauce. And if it's too wet, you can always add a little bit more cinnamon. You can also throw some other of those warm spices in. And I don't know if you heard the beep, beep, beep in the background, but my oven is also ready. Now it looks like mine might be a little too sticky, so I might need to add a little bit more cinnamon or nutmeg or cloves. So you decide what you want to add. I think that I'm going to add some nutmeg in here. And when it's just the right consistency, when it's doughy enough, there we go, I feel like that's pretty doughy. You're going to roll it out onto your, and you can press it out if you want to press it. You can play with it a little bit. It's a good Play-Doh-y consistency. And you can kind of mold it around, shape it, and when you're ready, you can set it out on your surface. So I'm gonna get all the little bits out because I want to use as much as I possibly can. But then before I put it out, before I roll it out, press it out, maybe I want to add a little bit more nutmeg, sprinkle the counter with some nutmeg or some cloves. So I've got some cloves here, some ground cloves. I'm going to set that down there. And then I'll sprinkle the surface with some. And you want to roll it flat like you would for any sort of sugar cookie or other sort of cookie that you would eat at home. I'm going to flip mine upside down. All right, looking good. So when it's flat enough, it's going to be about 1/4 of an inch thick. Now I'm only going to do a couple of cookies here. And I'm going to use a heart shape today. I'm going to try to be as strategic as possible. And I'm going to cut out these shapes. I'm going to cut out my heart. I'm going to cut out my ornament shapes. Now the other thing you're going to want to do is make sure that there's a hole in them so that they can hang, right? So I'm going to use a straw to cut the holes. Let's see if I have a straw nearby that I can use. So I'm going to use a straw to cut holes, and I'm going to cut them. Maybe I'm going to cut them right there in the center. But maybe a few of mine I want them to hang sort of off to the side. When you're ready, you can use a little spatula. Pick them up, and you're going to put them on a cookie tray. And then you can use the cookie tray to bake them. You're going to bake them. Now it's going to take a long time to bake them, but you're going to bake them for about 2 hours. And once they've baked, you can use them to decorate. You can paint on them, and you can give them as gifts. Now, you can also take the scraps and re-roll them. That's the best part about this, is you don't have to worry about the scraps not being usable. They totally are. You can just mush them back together and roll them back out. So once they come out of the oven and cool, you can use paint markers, or even puffy paint to decorate your ornaments. They'll smell delicious. Don't eat them. Remember, there's glue in them. You can also use words to decorate your ornaments. You'll see that some of mine have images and some have words. And this is a great opportunity to practice your letters, as well as learn a little bit about what the words mean. So however you decorate, we hope that your day is wonderful and you've taken some time to make some fun art and enjoy the season.